Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the TechGuy Podcast, episode number 35. And home tech has always been kind of an not kind of an appealing tech for me because for majority of the period of time, home tech always seems kind of complicated for me to even get into, you know. So I was like, and they were expensive back into those days, I will say, when I used to look a couple of years ago, and now it has been improved a much lot, I will say. And In this episode we are going to cover up the Amazon event. They launched some couple of new hardware products basically, and we are going to talk about that home tech basically, all the echo and a lot of other stuff that we are going to talk about. And yeah, let's see, in future I might get one. It is kind of a really good kind of a tech I really want. And the thing is, uh, let's see, I will say that rather than uh, let's just get into that topic. And another topic we are going to cover is basically we are going to talk about the impact of Sora 2 after the launch. So it's been more than like this week at this time. At this time I think it's been 2 weeks since it's launched, and a lot of things have come into conversation on the internet. And the behavior I'm seeing a lot of uh, how people react to AI, and there are a lot of good stuff. So let's just get into the episode. So Amazon launched a couple of new hardware products for home tech that they had for years now, from from I will say home tech like Echo Dots. Then we have a new Kindle, colorized new Kindle, Colorsoft. Then we have new TV, new Fire Stick, and we have new doorbells too. New hardware stuff with all Alexa Plus in it. So yeah, so these are some kind of new devices, and one of the interesting device that I am actually interested in is Amazon Blink's 180-degree panoramic camera, which acts as a kind of an CCTV footage, which is interesting. I will get into that episode too. So uh, So, if you don't know, I covered Alexa Plus at the start of this year, and I will say Amazon's idea of integrating new AI feature in their products was, I will say, strategically really good. And as a consumer, I don't even mind, because the reason why I think home tech has, if you have home tech, like home tech in the sense like Amazon's, like say, Echo Dots, or you can say any kind of CCTV cameras from them, or any kind of like tech 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 doorbell, like tech, and those kind of things has always been around. It's not that it's new, but Amazon always has like kind of an, I will say, the image of mostly home tech rather than any other stuff for me. And obviously Amazon's as a whole consumer, like I will say, e-commerce. But uh, Amazon this year, when they launched Alexa Plus, they launched Alexa Plus as kind of a software update for existing device too, and also for the newer device they launched this year with the newer Kindle that they launched this year again. This is not the first time we are seeing the colored Kindles. These are just premium Kindles right now we are seeing in this new event. If you are interested in that, you can go check it those out. You know, which are premium kind of an into, like, which they are $650, and entry level for those I think 450. So I think it's kind of an, I will say, a kind of a premium Kindle there that I feel like uh, kind of an expensive. But apart from that, I will say what I was saying, Alexa Plus, the strategy was actually good, I will say, where they gave the new Alexa Plus, which is interesting to the older devices too. So we can just say that the Alexa Plus is kind of a much more software updates, which I actually like more than, I will say, getting just introducing Apple, like just like what Apple did, just only introducing new AI with for the newer devices, which which is a long play game that Apple played and it did not work from there. We can see that for this year too, and that's why I think Amazon did like played the safe game, not scamming customers. I will say in the name of something we have done and not pricing high enough. I will say, but they might have their own products because I don't know. For like this is the first year I've been covering the Amazon products and Amazon as a whole, like in the tech industry. So yeah, so they have launched what new Echo Dots, Echo 8, and Echo 8 and new Echo 11 with both bigger displays available from them with attached speaker, which is again kind of an like is a premium category, and with new Dots, new Dot Max, which is smaller but higher quality. They say most probably, which again includes Alexa Plus in both of them. So that's there. Kindle, Kindle, like I said, if you are a Kindle user and wants to upgrade into premium category with colored ones, you might, I will say, depend upon what kind of color Kindle you want. If you just want a color Kindle in this name of back design wise, you can get those cheaper because they already launched the start of this year. These new color soft Kindles are basically the kind of an, I will say, premium with the actual color and display. So if you are into that, you can go get it. uh, but Kindles are quite a bit expensive, even I will say. I think reading devices kind of and feel like it should be less expensive to get immediate access. I know I have like for me, I have personally never even held a Kindle in my hand, and I feel like Kindle are kind of an I will worth. Well, a lot of people say it's a really good investment for, especially for when you are mostly traveling and you might want to read the book. But yeah, I don't know about Kindles, how regular Kindle actually are, how premium they look like, because they cost a lot. Like I will say, $110. I will say, even though like they are expensive, but there is no back in that, I will say. But I do read books. Like I do need a Kindle or some kind of reading devices for my traveling only, because at home I prefer reading at I will say most probably physical books that I already have. Like I have here right now Ali Abdal's. I will say what it is a feel good productivity, good by Ali Abdal, which is a good book that I'm reading right now. Like I experiment, like I read couple of simultaneously a lot of books at one time, and yeah. So like I said, let's say if I get a Kindle, I will do give it a review, and if it's actually worth those $100 too, you know. So that's there Kindle for if you are a Kindle user and if you are kind of into that thing. Then apart from that, they launched, like I said, new doorbell with newer tech that I don't get it, that much. New TV, Fire Stick, and the one like I talked in the start of the intro too is the new Blink's Amazon Blink Arc 180. Basically, it's a device kind of like a GoPro. If you have seen ever GoPro, it's like that. It has two cameras, but what it does with the help of obviously processing, it merges those two footages and kind of and gives you, I will say, 180-degree view. So a one camera in a room or even if in a whole field is kind of uncover a lot of things. And the best thing about it is it is in a kind of a GoPro like shape. And the second best thing it is that the mount it comes with. So basically the mount, it is detachable mount. So basically it is, you can create your own mount and basically stick it whatever or wherever you want, actually I will say. And yeah, and the thing is the mount is like detachable, and that is what I like about it. It's like I said, that's why I gave the example of GoPro here, because GoPros are like that. If you have ever seen any kind of biking vlogs by bikers all around on the YouTube specifically, they what they do specifically is they mount the GoPro, which has become kind of an easier nowadays. But back into those days where it was not those kind of accessories available, it was kind of an hard. Like nowadays, a lot of things are available, but GoPro is kind of an, I will say, the best comparison to that new Blinks, which is I quite like a good, like I will say good. And if you want to check out, I will say, like, if you want to get the new, like I said, CCTV footage for your businesses, or your store, or even anyone, if you want to recommend it, I will definitely go and let you like check that Blinks, which will be quite expensive, but I will say a worthwhile, at least. Apart from that whole lineup, I do think that that is one of the, I will say, good thing from it, which got attention. Not that interested in home tech for now, at least I will say. So that's there. I will also link down the Verge article, you know yeah, I will also link down the Verge article by Emma Roth, written by her. Basically, she has written all the basics. So if you want to get to know the devices and the pricings, just go in the link down in the description, and you can get that video. Oh, sorry, you can get that article. And I will also link down all the shorts uh, had made on this product line, especially the Blinks one, which you will get the idea of what I'm saying, which I really liked, and other devices that I whenever whatever I find, especially on YouTube, I will just link down in the description. So I think, yeah, that's it for Amazon event. Like I said, I am not into those kind of products into that much, so I didn't want to cover it too much in the sense where I just talk and waste my time. Like I said, I could give my kind of, and I will say, thoughts regarding those. In future, I might get Kindle definitely. I don't know about cameras, but there are a lot of other home takes like Echo Dots Max, which I specifically really really want, because with this new update you can with this new updated Echo Dots, what you can do is, like, you can buy eight like different types of, like, different Echo Dots, and place them according to, even like you can make surround sound in your room, or you can also put them in a different home, different parts of your room, if you have multiple rooms, and you can just control them. I think, whatever, if I have seen, this is right. So don't count me in, it's just I wanted to give some overview of the event. We might cover a lot of in the future, because like I said, consumer tech is one of those tech, especially home tech, and in future will definitely buy it. So I think, yeah, that's it for this Amazon event, I will say. So couple of, let's talk about some updates first from Sora, for Sora 2 from OpenAI basically. So couple of things they are changing and updating our cameos. So basically they are restricting cameos. So a lot of people are now trying Sora 2, and a lot of internet has flooded with the AI. And the thing is, uh, features that people were not just skeptical, and I talked about that specific, that, and I even talked about that specific feature, not also like one of those, like the cameo feature. I did not, the reason I did not like it, and the way people will misuse it, and they are using it in a wrong way too. But restrictions are being happening on cameos. So basically what will happen here right now is, basically, cameos will get restriction in terms of filtering out. So basically, let's say I am allowing my cameos, but I don't want cameos in specific kind of conditions. So people can use my cameos in any other aspects, but use my cameos, let's say, in like they can't use cameos in political content. If I filter out like don't use my cameos in political content, and don't use my content, don't use my cameos in, like, I will say what, with this person, or specifically you can just filter out your cameos, which is available now. You can go and do it in the settings, which I don't know, which I, like I said, that app is still not global, so I don't know how the whole UI of even the app is. And yeah, if you are, if you have given the permission and want to give permission, record, like if you are for your, and you can add restrictions now. But the problem with the cameos are, is even if I'm not on the app, and even if I'm, let's say, I'm not using app, and even if the thing is people will make videos no matter what. So what I want from OpenAI is, let's say, if people uses my likeness, even if I don't want to, even if I am not on the app, or yes, I'm on the app, is they should have kind of a restriction and strong moderation regarding it, which should be done by them. Like, I think personally, in terms of, like I said, likeness, not just likeness, specifically identity of a specific person, regardless of the person's public figure or not. I feel like every other individual should get, kind of an, I will say, dip on their identity. So even if a regular person who is not on the like public figure, or who, even if people make videos of that person, people will not care with. A lot of people will not even care it, but that person should have a right regarding his or her identity. So I hope they do a strict moderations regarding these, sorry, they do strict moderation regarding this likeness identity, so I hope they do it, which will take a long time. And I don't think they're doing it for a while, but let's see if we get in updates. And if you are if your I will say likeness has been used by your friend, or by any other, and send the video towards you, and if you have caught your video on the internet, please let me know down in the comment section, because I want to know those kind of cases. Because like I said, OpenAI, even though this says so much kind of this stuff, which the implications of it, or the implementation of it, are not as great. We have seen it on what happens with the Instagram or Facebook for now. So I hope we get some kind of restriction in that. But apart from cameos, I think they are trying to add strong watermark. Now, if you have seen my live stream couple of days ago, I talked about, I think on Sunday, I talked about how watermark system is really bad, because the watermark is clearly so transparent that whenever the video is uploaded on the YouTube, if the watermark is on the white background, it will not be able to recognize that if there is even a watermark or here there or not, unless and until it has kind of a clear distinction in between colors. So I hope they add some strong watermark system. What I mean by that, just add some darker colors to your watermark, so it clearly says that it is made by AI. Second thing that they are not working on, but they are working on the watermark system, but still up to date. It has been announced since 1 week, but the system for the new watermark, or the new watermark, I haven't seen it up until now. So that's there. But I really want, when it comes to those AI videos, and I have always said that, is we need a new kind of metadata for those videos. So mostly C2PA system that they are working on, and all other companies say a lot about it, but it does not look like that we can even detect those videos. So I hope what we get is kind of an, I will say, new metadata for those videos, so we can identify if there's video is even just edited by AI. We can get it from the metadata of that specific video. Now, apart from those whole two things I talked about watermark, uh, one of the things that is concerning for me right is concerning in the sense like what people are saying on the internet basically is they don't want a watermark and they are already using watermark removal for Sora. So yeah, and the thing is, like I said, the people who don't want to use and don't want to say or don't want that watermark on their video is couple of two things that person is using that AI video. First, the person don't want to get caught if that person is using AI video or not. Second thing, that person wants to trick people that this video is actually real, and yeah, this video is actually real and just want to rage bait and create chaos with the videos that that person is creating. Or the third thing, which is highly unlikely to happen, just for the fun, and they don't want a watermark, which is again highly unlikely. In the first two option, like I said, using it for wrong purposes, and I think that this company will definitely do it and add a higher tier subscription of the people who want to remove Sora AI kind of a watermark from the videos, getting out of the feedback, which is I don't like it. Which, like I said, the reason I fear it is like that they are the company who will definitely do it for the money, because they are the company, like I said in the past in the last video, that they are the company who wants the actual money rather than there is a reason why Sora 2 is announced, and they are the reason they might actually even in the pro subscription or even in the max subscription that they let users to remove watermark, which is not good. So yeah, so watermark, cameos, and now is monetization. So I think monetization is one thing that Sam Altman posted about monetization on his own blog that I will link down in the description. So if you want to read that whole blog by yourself too. So he posted on his own blog about how he will add monetization on the AI feed. Like I said, I'm not surprised because in the last episode I talked about he will add monetization. OpenAI will add monetization in the Sora 2 AI feed app, because they obviously, the reason they are approaching in that way is because of to make kind of an, like I said, kind of an monetization and make a money from out of it. It's like again they are turning this into a lot of business models and a lot of branching out towards where they think they can, I will say, do a lot of and have a lot of income streams, which I feel like that they are typically doing, which I even predicted last week when I was recording that episode actually. So monetization will be there, but I think what and how the monetization will happen is not easy, because when it comes to monetization, the only way those videos are monetized, at least for now on and now, is the ad system. And I'm just interested, the companies are interested in using ads, basically in inserting ads in an AI feed, which is again the retention is insanely high in there. I think some basic companies will definitely invest in the ad system there, because the retention and I will say the hype is real. On a long term basis, I don't see a lot of benefit there unless and until how they market towards the monetization, which is kind of an, I will say, a big deal if they do it in a right way for them. I don't think for me as a creator, or any other creator. But I'm going to right now, I will say my stance regarding it of AI is basically whenever I use AI, I will say, let's say I use AI for image generation in a video or image generation thumbnail of a title, I will mention it in my description if I don't mention it on my in any video basically. And the reason why description I said, because sometimes I do post production and I can't include, but I will try to do, especially when it comes to AI. What I will do is basically whenever I use videos or image of AI generated, I will 99% will not use it, but sometimes I will. And yeah, it depends. Like up until now, I have been uploaded 34th episode. This is 35th, and I haven't any image AI generated images or videos I have ever used in my videos. So that's there, and I will disclose anything transparently regarding AI, because that is important. Like there is kind of an, I will say, audience, or not audience but creators who are thinking like kind of an, I will say, a big, uh, who are thinking in a way that they will get hate regarding use of AI. For me, I have always said, tools are one of the things that definitely kind of and feel like kind of a divide into the people. But I think tools are tools, and upon you can use it upon depending upon your usage. And for me right now, I will say, in terms of scripting, in terms of research, there is no single use of AI, because of how I'm untrusted, because the level of untrust between me and that AI, whatever whichever, because of the hallucination and the errors that it will make, which I'm not going to make kind of, because like like I have always said in past in my podcast show, and this episode I will say that when it comes to AI, I will, if when it comes to AI, and if I am writing notes and research, I will never use it, because I just don't trust it. If it gets wrong, who can I even blame to? I can only blame to me, that you trusting that tool which fails. If I personally fail from my researching, at least okay, it was my fault. And the thing is, it don't feel that much worse, and taking the responsibility is kind of an my deal. So let's see. Like I said, when it comes to AI, I will disclose it whenever I use it, which will 99%, like I said, never. I have used and AI titled, from, I will say, use of AI for getting the title of the iPhone 17 podcast, which is kind of an, I will say, from overthinkers, from over promises to hardware update, which is kind of an, I will say, a really good title, which I was as a last resort, and that episode was getting late too. So that's there for, I will say, for me when it comes to AI, and AI in my content that I'm doing right now. And also I do want to support mostly the artists who are genuinely doing, not just artists, I will say, journalists, people who actually makes videos. And whenever, like I said, even this video I called about I the Emma Roth article upon Verge. Like I said, you know, and the show notes in the description is for you guys, for not for me, because I know I have done my research, and I have read those tweets actually written by people, and I've watched those videos. So I think it's up to you. It's like, if you want to support the data days, and if you are into that niche, like I said, if you are into home tech products, I will say go on Verge and follow MRL. you know so like I said, I will always say that. And that show notes for is you guys, not to prove myself that I do my research. I always will be doing it, but also to you guys to go and check those people out who are actually making also great stuff. But apart from last point, I'm gonna talk about here on this episode about Sora, I will say, is about some AI generation videos on fictional characters. So basically, Batman, Superman, any kind of big superhero characters, anime characters. If you watch anime, I do watch a lot of anime, like One Piece, like Naruto, One Punch Man. You know, so I think if getting into that category, is going to be a lot of tricky. Like these companies who owns basically DC characters, uh, and Marvel is owned by Disney. But there are other lot of things, I will say, when it comes to art. These are just some two big giants that every other people know all around the world, I will say. What I was talking about was, I will say, the fictional characters getting used by Sora. I think it's up to the companies, basically. So, and what I was wanted to talk about is one thing that I think you should be clear about when it comes to fan fiction is companies just let people do it, rather than so most probably, unless and until it is not getting too mainstream, So there have been instances where companies have pushed back some creators who were using those characters as kind of an as a content creation, which they think that it should not be used. Like I will say the Mickey Mouse character, where where a person who used to do the puppetry of Mickey Mouse, I will say on TikTok, if you know him, Disney said he should not use that. He should not, I will say, they told him he can't, Mickey Mouse can't use those specific words. And like I said, they did send him the notice. Even the like, so that's why the person and people who are making the content out of these characters, if those characters try to do certain type of, I will say, things and words which is getting popular on the in terms of the what they think, okay, ultimately, so they do pull down. So it's like I said, it's tricky. And when they start making Sora AI generated videos and they give permission to it, I think there will be a lot of restrictions, and should be restrictions, because the restrictions are again towards the creators too, people who actually do it rather than AI generating. But let's see, it is kind of an, I will say, tricky situation. Personally, I don't want it, you know. Yeah, I don't want to see AI generated fan, at least for now, because unless and until, with always from both sides, I have always said, as a company side and as always as a person who as a consumer, there should be always restriction of what I want to see, and there should be restrictions regarding certain things that should not be able to even make it due to your like having a strong moderation, I have always said, which will help you in the long term rather than giving lot of free will to people to do whatever they want. Okay, so I think that was my last point regarding Sora. There are a couple of new AI news, I know it. And the reason I didn't cover in this episode, because this is not kind of an, I will say, extra episode. This is just the missing episode from past 2 weeks that I didn't do it, which I wanted to do it because whenever I miss a episode, I have to do then the next episode to cover those same topics, and which is kind of and becomes a large episode, which is really heavy headache for me to even edit those episodes. And now the camo studio is crashing on me, which is kind of an, I will say, I am disappointed in it, because when it happens, it is not good whenever you record this kind of things which are actually long form rather than scripted, at least I will say. So you know so this is not an extra episode, this is the episode that probably this is Thursday I am recording the new latest episode, talking about all the other things. It is crashing a lot right now in front of me. I don't think I will include this. Let's say what happens in the edit. But this is just last 5 minutes. If it would have hold for the last 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I would have been so much happy. But no, it wants to crash while I'm recording it. So I'm disappointed. But I will say this episode is on recording on Thursday. Your new episode you will get is most probably on this episode, will you most probably get today only, because this is not a big episode. I just wanted to cover this episode a separate way, which is kind of an, I will say, a good for me rather than covering it in a whole one go. Apart from this, the latest episode about the latest new episode will be coming most probably on Saturday, not tomorrow. I want to give, even if I complete and edit tomorrow, I will not be uploading it tomorrow, because I do want some gap in between those episodes. So most probably the latest episode of the the episode number 36, this week's episode will be coming on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. That we are going to talk about a lot of other stuff that is coming, other things that are in updates regarding Sora that I'm going to cover, and also a lot of different types of small updates that I want to cover there, rather than big topics that we have been covering for past 3 episodes now. So yeah, that's it for, I will say, this episode for now. I will see you guys in a couple of days, and on mostly on Saturday. I hope I make it on Saturday only, because I do want to finish that episode quickly too, because I want, like I said, this episode. So this week a new iOS episode is going to come too on my other channel that I will link down whenever I upload it. So yeah, This is it for this week's episode of the Tech Guy Podcast. I will see you guys in the next week. Comment down your feedback regarding the episode, first of all, and also about the things that I talked about from home tech and from the new Sora update, what they are talking about from monetization, from strong watermark system. So let's talk about it in the comment section. So yeah, that's it.